Does Zur have a god roll? We're going to find out today, and we're starting off with, I think, a completely underrated pulse rifle that I really enjoy. But again, like most guns, you need to have the right roll or at least something close. So this GN7 comes with the SLO 12 sight and the 21 sight. I hate these. I hate these super narrow sights. These are not for me. With this particular gun, I would go with the 57 or the 28. I think the 57, I actually had two of these with different sights, and I think the 57 is the one that I really liked. But yeah, 57 or 28, try to get one with that. High cal rounds is a top tier mag on this gun. I went with ricochet rounds. I found that I liked it a lot better. But if you're going to use this against a lot of things that need knockback, so like ogres, if you're shooting an ogre in the face, high cal rounds are excellent because it'll disrupt the ogre and prevent him from shooting at you, which is great because ogres suck. Let's be real. Grave robber, yeah, I'm not a fan. For this particular gun, well, as with all pulse rifles, I personally prefer full auto trigger. My GN7 has Dragonfly. That's the one I chose to go with. I use this more for ad clearing, although I have used it in GM Nightfalls and was very happy with it. One of the top rated perks is Rampage, which I highly recommend, or Swashbuckler. Both are going to give you a damage boost. It's not even really a good roll. It's an okay roll. I don't really recommend it, but if you don't have a GN7, it's okay to get this gun and play with it and just get used to it and see what you like and what you don't like and figure out where to go from there. The 7th Serif Officer Revolver. This I also think is an underrated gun. I do have someone in my community, this is their favorite hand cannon. I have used this in many GM Nightfalls for Unstoppables. Like this really is a great gun. So for my 7th Serif Officer Revolver, I really thought about what I use this gun for. Again, I use it mostly for GM Nightfalls if I break it out. So I wanted something that was going to reward me for using it against champions. So I have full bore on mine. I use full bore to get more range. But full bore doesn't give you, it actually gives you a stability and handling penalty. The top barrels that people choose are small bore, fluted barrel, and corkscrew. Although honestly, I don't really feel like this needs more stability and handling. And the reason I went with full bore is because it has plus 15 range, guys. Like nothing even touches that. That is by far the highest range you can get for a barrel. And with this being a 180, I don't think you need the stability and handling. Let's be real. Go with the full bore. However, Hammer Forged, I think, is a close second. The funny thing is, full bore, people aren't really picking that, and Hammer Forged, no one really picks that either, but they're both range. Tac Mag, all the way on most guns that I pick. I absolutely love it. I don't have Tac Mag on mine, though. For the mag, I went with accurized rounds, and again, it increases range. Nobody's picking accurized rounds on this gun for some reason. Most people are going tac mag and appended mag. Again, if you're using this in endgame content, you're probably going to want the range buff. So is this a god roll? No. Is it a good roll? I mean, this is useless if you don't crouch and osmosis. I don't really care about the energy type of the weapon. I really don't. I mean, these two are great. This is fine. But these kind of suck. I wouldn't recommend. Gnawing Hunger, one of my most favorite auto rifles in the game. I am trying to model most of my 600s, my 600 round per minute auto rifles after this one because it's just perfect. The curated roll has arrowhead break, appended mag, and overflow. This gun doesn't come with overflow anymore, guys. During Season of Arrivals, you could go back in that particular season and get a Gnawing Hunger that wasn't going to sunset with Beyond Light. Before Arrivals, any Gnawing Hunger that you had earned prior to that season was going to be sunset with Beyond Light. So I went in and I got the new curated roll, and you just can't get it. It only dropped from a Tier 3 Reckoning activity, which isn't available anymore. So what you put in this column, it's kind of up in the air because, again, overflow is not available. And then the curated came with Rampage. guys, I can't beat that roll. I have some other rolls that are close. I do have one with Zen Moment. It's just not the same. It's really not. I recommend getting as close as possible to the curated roll, which means you want Arrowhead Break here. You want Appended Mag, which is here. And then Subsistence is probably the closest thing you can get to Overflow. 100% go with Rampage. Now, with this gun, you could probably get away with Corkscrew Rifling. If you don't have a Gnawing Hunger, buy this because it's just a great gun anyway. But this isn't really a great roll. There's really nothing on here I like. It's actually a crap roll for this gun. So again, if you don't have a Gnawing Hunger, pick it up and vault it until you get a better roll. Distant Tumulus. I don't understand why people put Arrowhead Break on a sniper. I don't know. I'm fine with Kick on a sniper unless it's something like Whisper where I'm going to be like shooting successively at a boss in a raid. You're probably not going to use Distant Tumulus for that. Although it does come with firing line, so that's a possibility. If you're going to shoot this once, opening shot is a good choice, but I typically don't waste my time on opening shot. Looking at what's in this column, I would be inclined to go with snapshot sights. It's just amazing how good a sniper with snapshot sights is. And then in this column, you have Genesis. No one's picking that. Pulse Monitor people use for PvP, and then the PvEers are picking Clown Cartridge and Lead from Gold. And then Dragonfly. I would probably go with Dragonfly on this. It's kind of a crapshoot, though. It really depends on what you're using. And then Tac Mag all the way. You don't have a choice for Tac Mag. However, Flared Magwell will give you a better reload. PvPers, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Then Fluted Barrel all the way. I have recently fallen in love with Fluted Barrel on all of my snipers. That's what I try to get. Although Arrowhead Break is a top tier PvE barrel and polygonal rifling, no one's picking this. Yeah, no one's picking this from this gun. So this is okay. This is actually a decent PvP roll. Most PvPers are picking Hammer Forged or Small Barrel, but they are picking Flared Magwell and Pulse Monitor overwhelmingly. They are not picking Opening Shot. However, guys, if you're only shooting periodically, Opening Shot is great in PvP. Go for it. I actually go with Opening Shot on hand cannons. I love it. For PvP. That's it. Just PvP. Wishbringer, this used to always drop from the Crucible. This is a Crucible weapon, and it's a cool little shotgun if you can get the right roll. Question is whether or not you can. As with most shotties, I like to go full choke. That is the popular option in PvP. PvPers are also liking accurized rounds. Neither one of these are on here. Barrel Shroud is being picked. Actually, both of these are being picked by PvEers. So these are popular perks if you want to use this for PvE. I think there's better shotties out there for it, though. Extended Mag is also being picked overwhelmingly by PvEers. Same with Appended Mag and Tac Mag, but accurized rounds is what the PvPers are using. I don't understand why you'd use field prep on a shotgun. I just don't. Slide Shot is incredibly popular, probably because this is mostly a PvP gun. Threat Detector is also incredibly useful. And looking at the perks that are available in this column, guys, I would go with Threat Detector or Slide Shot. If you slide, and you're using this for PvP especially, go for it. But if you're using it for PvE or you're like me and you don't do a lot of sliding in conjunction with shooting, Threat Detector is the best thing you can get in this column. Opening Shot is going to be great for one-shotting. So again, this is hugely popular with the PvP community, along with Snapshot Sights. Rampage, though, is the most popular perk overall. If you want to get a Wishbringer just to see what it feels like, go ahead and grab this one, but honestly, I don't recommend it. I really don't. This isn't a great roll by any measure. Temptations Hook. This is a great sword. I love using this for PvP because you can right-click and just fling a bolt at somebody. It's great. You don't even have to sneak up on someone. Just the minute you see someone fling it, it tracks. They die. It's great. This has both Heavy Guard and Swordmaster's Guard. I love Swordmaster's Guard for most of my swords. This is just a great guard. Uh, I'm laughing. This is great. And you have relentless strikes with it. Like, this is amazing. And, oh, no jagged edge. That sucks. Increased sword day. So honed edge is a good substitute for jagged edge, I would say. I would go Swordmaster's Relentless. This is a really great roll right here. On guard, quick attacks immediately after swapping to the sword do additional damage. You're probably not going to do quick attacks with this, honestly, in PvP, because you're going to be right-clicking or whatever the hell you controller players do. In that column, if you're going to use this against bosses or guardians who have their supers active pull all the way, that is the most popular perk in this column. Surrounded is also great along with Whirlwind. I went with Whirlwind Blade on mine because Whirlwind is great against bosses. Like if you're doing like a ton of little light attacks, that's when Relentless kicks in. And then you do your heavy attack for Whirlwind to get your extra damage. It's a great combination. Surrounded is great if you're using this for ad clearing. Just going in and light attacking everything with the occasional heavy attack. Surrounded is wonderful. So you've got quite a few options on the sword. Guys, this is a really good roll. It's not a great roll, but it's a really good roll. So if you don't have this sword or you have a crappy roll, pick this up. It's not a god roll, but it's a good roll. You bet your bottom dollar this thing was hot when it first came out in Gambit, and it's also really hard to get because you have to play a lot. It's not even fun to grind for this, and I haven't. I don't have my god roll on here. I would go with either Fluted, Hammer Forged, or Small Bore. Maybe Hammer Forged for that range. 100% Tac Mag. Actually, what I like about this is you have a choice between Accurized and Tac Mag. I love when you get two top-tier mags on here, you can switch back and forth depending on the situation, or just figure out which one you like better. Accurized is more popular among PvPers. Tac Mag is popular overall. Pulse Monitor. Like, stop it, Bungie. Stop with the Pulse Monitor. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the reload speed on this gun is trash. I would go Outlaw all the way for that reload. Dragonfly is fun for PvE. However, if you're going to get a lot of hits, if you're going to get a lot of kills back-to-back, Rampage is a top-tier perk. Multi-kill clip is also wildly popular. And explosive payload. I personally like explosive payload on my hand cannons because if I use it for champions, it's really good for like overloads and unstoppables. You want to have that explosive payload or time payload. I love that too. This is not a god roll, but it's a good roll. Pick it up. If you don't have a good one of these, I'd grab this. This is worth getting until you can get a better one. Not a god roll, but it is a good roll. And that's it, guys. Xur has no god rolls today, but we do have a couple of good rolls. If you'd like to support this channel, liking and commenting on the videos tells YouTube to share these videos with others who may find them useful. If you'd like to provide monetary support to help keep this channel up and running, visit my locals and subscribe star communities.